I can say is it's a good thing I had some success in the beginning, because let me see, is it this one? This is the first one that I made, and it ends up, it's my favorite. And I got it into the oval shape, you know, before it hardened. And then this was the second one that I made that I also like. It turned out good. And I put some of the green in it, but it's mostly shungite, the shungite powder. And then here's my failures. This is the one that I showed you I was working on, where I had the selenite crystal that I chopped up, and I don't know if it was because I put the BB shot in there, then I put the selenite, and then I put the carbon. Yeah, this one had the activated charcoal. Is it? Or was that this one? Oh yeah, that was actually this one. This one turned out okay. This has got the selenite, you know, this sort of glassy crystal. It's several days old, and it still is soft enough that I can, you know, like reshape it. And I had the hardest time getting it out of the mold, so you can see it's really deformed looking. That's all I can say. Doesn't have any prettiness to it, you know, not like you know, this one. So then let me see, then I was making this one that let me see, I had well, you know, I did the same thing with the BB shot in there, and then I put a combination of I'm trying to think now. Oh, this I think it's the one that I put the sand in. Oh yeah, there's let me see, I put rose quartz and this other one. For some reason I can't think of what it is. It's the purple one. And then I think I poured the shungite stone powder in there, and then I started putting sand in it, and the sand just drifted down and kind of filled in, but you can see it never really it left a lot of bubbles and, you know, stuff like that. So then and I had a hard time getting this one out of the mold too, and but then when it hardened up, it was in a circle, and I decided that I was going to try and just scrunch it, you know, and see if I could make it oval, but it just cracked into 4 pieces, which was fine because it was not anything I was going to wear anyway. And this is one that I actually made in a bit of a smaller mold, the next step down. This is, let me see, this is the size that is the biggest one, the one that I like. Then there's this size is the next smaller one, and I think this is even smaller than that. Yeah, and it's doesn't have the design on it. So this I made in this mold, but what I tried to do was actually put a lot of like a copper scrubber thing, you know, like one of those copper scrubbers that I cut up into small pieces, and I stuffed it all down in there, and then I put the sand and the sparkly stuff in there, but it never really solidified. I couldn't figure out why. It was like stuck in the mold, and so I finally just pried it open, and I had to scrape all of the copper off. But I really love the piece that's left here. You know, the sand with the sparkles, it really inspired me, so I wanted to try and duplicate this effect, you know, on a full-size one. But I think what I need to do actually is just pour them in layers. Oh, and then I decided that, you know, I was going to use this super stinky stuff because I thought it would harden faster, but it was almost a disaster. I only used like an ounce of it, and this thing, it has that resin in there. But what I had to do actually was, and well, this one too. This is I actually pried this one out of the mold, but it never really. It's still tacky on the bottom. It's actually quite cute. I don't think I can get it out with one hand though. But I had to keep those in a closed container because they were totally stinking up my environment to the point where even when I had my air filters turned on and the window open, it was still like a toxic environment. So this one was using up the last of one of my, what was it? I think it might have been this Easy Cast. But I got really discouraged using that one because it just seems like it was taking too long to set up. So then I started doing some research again on YouTube, and I found out about this one, Amazing Clear Coating Casting Resin. And they said that they sold it at Michael's. So I got it yesterday. They had a one day only 50% off coupon, but this is 16 ounces as opposed to the other one was 8 ounces, and actually this was more cost effective. So this is what I'm fooling around with now, and that's what I have in these molds. So I thought I should probably not try to put too much of the shungite stone powder as too much of an additive in the resin, because maybe that's what makes it get brittle. I probably should be writing all this down. And this crazy one here is just taking forever to harden up. I tried to pry it open a little while ago, and it's still sticky in there. So it's mostly got sand in the bottom. Can't remember if I put another layer of something in there. It has almost like 3 layers, and some kind of iron magnetic. It was coated in gold, and so when I put it in there, all the gold floated up to the top, which I thought actually was pretty cool. So but I think part of the reason is because it needs more heat, and I think it was this one. What I did today is I went out early this morning, and it was a sunny day, and I still had this in the mold, and so I put it on the dashboard of the car while I went to the gym, and this was the polyester, and the really stinky one. So I thought, well, maybe, you know, it was just too chilly in my apartment or whatever. And so it did seem to set up pretty good when it sat in the sun. But then when I pried it out of the mold, you know, I saw like how crummy it set up here and stuff. And then anyway, it's such a learning curve. But so I got some new glitter stuff too. You could get 5 of these little packets for like $1 at Michael's. So I got 5 new kinds of glitter stuff to put in here. This one's really neat. It's got like little stars. Well, I haven't actually used this one yet. It's not showing up that good. Yeah, you can kind of see there. And this was my glitter of preference. This one actually has the glow-in-the-dark in it also, but it's so fine that it really adds a nice, just, you know, like little sparkly sheen. That's what this one is here. So, other than this, I've been watching a lot of Nassim Haramein. He's that physicist guy that has a lot of interesting things to say about how, you know, the material world is created and stuff like that. Since I have a lot of, you know, like thoughts about science and, you know, just wanting to know why things are the way they are. He's been real interesting to listen to. But I guess that's about it. I haven't really had many thoughts. I did start taking the Ormus, but I haven't noticed any changes yet as far as you know, having more intense dreams or intuitions or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I guess that's about it. Talk to you guys later.